Well, Damon and Rachel, it's a pleasure to talk to you today. Rachel, I just have to show you my husband found his original She's All That ticket stub from 1999 yesterday. He also has
Oh,
his friend's ticket stub here too. Isn't that crazy?
wait a second. His friend's ticket?
Well, I think it might have been his mom that went with him.
That's a friend.
That's
Exactly.
so nice.
Isn't
Oh
that so cute?
my
Yeah, we
God.
were just like, obviously, this was like a big film for my husband and I growing up. So it's like so much fun to talk to you today. Congratulations to you both on this film. I love the premise, Rachel, that your character, Susan's friends, are pushing her to do this online dating so she can kind of figure out what it's like in order to take on this case. And I'm curious for each of you, what's a wild thing that each of you have done as an actor in order to help better understand a role that you've taken on? Rachel, I'll start with you first.
Ooh. Wild thing. Damn you, Christian Bale. I'm so mad at you right now for just killing it for the rest of us in terms of our perceived commitment levels.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was going to be playing an FBI agent, and they wouldn't like let me into FBI headquarters because whatever. But I did like go on a police ride along just to like observe some procedures, as I'm sure Damon did too, for Let's Be
Let's
Cops.
be cops.
And yeah,
Yeah.
pretty amazing the extent to which like bored police officers will let you just like hang with them and tell you stuff that you probably shouldn't know. But yeah, wild commitment stories. I don't know. I gotta work on one. I've never really turn up for you in that way. Damon, what have you got?
Yeah.
Similarly, for Let's Be Cops, I went on a ride along, but we went on a ride along with some of the goofiest, worst cops ever. They're taking us to the most dangerous places. They took us on this weird stakeout. They like arrested a guy in front of us
What?
who was armed. He had crack on him. It was crazy. It was the scariest thing. So we go.
Were you and Jake both in there together, or did you
Yeah,
go by yourself?
no, me and Jake were in the back seat together, and I remember us going into 7-Eleven or one of those convenience stores, and the cop like, "Hey, I'm gonna get all this for free," because he's a cop, right? And so he walks up there and he puts like all his stuff down, and he's like, "You got me, man." And the guy's like, "Yeah," and then he tells him it'll be 11:37. The guy's like, "Come on, man, what are you talking about?" It's me. He's like, "Yeah, it's 11:37."
I love that so much.
Yeah, he made us go wait in the car, and he like was negotiating with the guy. Like, come on, man, making me look bad for the guys.
Like, what is he? I think he's like mafia. Like, he just be like, you want me to show up here when things get hairy later?
It was the scariest experience I've ever had in my life.
Oh my God.
But that's just the funny part.
Well, I love the dialogue in this movie, Damon. I love when your character says during the babysitting sequence, he's like, I thought that this was going to be one of the Von Trapp kids, but now he's like the Hunger Games. And I'm curious for each of you. I mean, I have some crazy babysitting stories when I was younger and even in my early 20s. Do you guys have some crazy babysitting stories that maybe happened throughout your life where like the kid just went completely crazy? Damon, I'll start with you.
My little sister, I was babysitting her, and she. So we had a little finch, right? We had a finch in this little cage. I loved my finch. I
Oh
said,
my.
"Don't touch my finch," and she was like, "Okay." I think she's like 3 at this time.
Oh no.
Don't touch my finch. I go to the bathroom. I come back. The finch is in her hand. She squeezed it to death.
No.
No.
Oh my gosh.
But then she was like, "It's okay," and she tried to put it back on the thing, on the little thing, and it just fell. I was like, "It's not okay. It's dead."
Oh my gosh. That's so crazy.
And
Well,
I bring it up every time she comes over. I go, "Remember the finch?" And she's like, on the verge of tears.
You had one job.
I love that your character Tamara is so positive in regards to finding love, even though she's trying to make that money. And even though, like, I was always that girlfriend for friends who were looking for, relationship advice. And I'm curious for you, did you have girlfriends that you went to for relationship advice, or were you that person that your friends were always coming to asking for advice?
I think both. I mean, I think it's when it's you always think, oh my God, is anyone going to ever want to go out with me again? And you feel really insecure. And that's when you need your friends to go like, yes, of course. That's like when my friends say to me, do you think anyone's ever going to want to date me? And I say, I mean, you really need that friend to just say, you're amazing and you deserve the best. Because when it's scary, it is scary. Dating is scary.
Oh my God, 100%. I love the premise in the film that Rachel Lee Cook's character, Susan, her friends push her to do this online dating so she can kind of learn the process of the case that she's going to take on. And I'm curious for you as an actor, what's something wild that you have kind of done in order to help better understand a role that you've taken on?
Well, one time I had to play a blind person. So I did go to some places where there's, it was like a center where they help people that are blind. And I remember kind of wearing a blindfold and walking around with like a stick.
What was that?
It was for a TV pilot a long time ago. It didn't get picked up, but actually Adrian Brody was in it. We played a con artist. Oh, someone's at my door. We played this con artist couple that is, yeah.
Wait. That's funny. I love that story. So obviously, like, Tamara is a total female powerhouse when it comes to business. I mean, she's clearly a professional, and I don't want to give away too much, especially in the end, like what happens with her. I feel like, you've played so many characters in your career. Is there something that you maybe learned from playing this character about yourself as a person and as an actor?
Well, I think it's just so funny to present yourself as this perfect kind of lifestyle guru person, and that underneath that all, you have like a lot of anger, or you're really, you have your areas where you're screwed up. I just think it's so funny the way people, with their social media, you try to present yourself as like, I have this perfect life, but the part of you that's just like really kind of angry and crazy comes out. Like, that's what I loved about her character. I thought she was so funny.
Yeah, last question for you. My husband and I obviously love The Hangover so much. We watch it like every couple of months. I'm curious for you, when people come up to you, what are like the number 1 and 2 roles they always mention to you? Because you've done so many things, and obviously like you're so recognizable. I'm just curious what people always come up to you and talk to you about. And additionally, have you seen when's the last time you've seen The Hangover?
I mean, I haven't watched it recently. I think guys definitely have seen that a lot. I think more film people would say Boogie Nights. And,
yeah.
I have a lot of friends that like this movie that I was in called Bowfinger. A friend of mine was just texting me like, I'm watching this right now.
Yes.
But yeah, it's nice to be in movies that people are still watching.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I love that you've done so many things that people are still watching and coming up and talking to you about. We're huge Paul Thomas Anderson fans in this house. We love Boogie Nights. So I appreciate your time so much today. And thank you so much for making me laugh during this time.
Beautiful. It's so nice to meet you and talk to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Heather. Have a good one.